In celebration of 8 years since the Brexit vote, GB News hosted a debate on Brexit and how it's going. And it's becoming increasingly clear that those who still back Brexit are not only a minority, but also that their position is becoming weaker and weaker by the day.
I voted to leave because I thought it was going to be better for the country. So far, it's been worse off for the country. I regret voting to leave.
Would you vote to go back now?
I would vote
if you were given a second referendum, would you vote to rejoin the EU?
Absolutely, I'd vote to rejoin the EU.
Even though you know you're going to get a worse deal because they are not going to accept us going back on a better terms.
They're going to be punitive to us.
If it means that British people are going to do slightly better than we're doing currently, I would go back in a heartbeat.
Happy Brexit Day.
Yeah, happy Brexit Day. Look, 56% of voters say Brexit was bad for the economy. It probably was bad for the economy. It probably was. But just to presume that we can just jump back in, Starmer becomes Prime Minister, it's almost a given, almost a certainty. To presume that we can just go straight back into the EU aren't just going to take us back. It's not a case of, cool, here you come, bring back the Brits. It's not going to happen.
Vote JJ. You've seen, actually, the big problem, hasn't he, Mike, with us going anywhere near, cap in hand, back to the EU. What are they going to say?
Well, they're going to charge us a lot more to get back than it cost us to come out. The problem with Brexit is it's so highly political, nobody ever looks at the facts and assesses it. So, for instance, if I tell you, since we left the EU's economic area, 2020, our hourly productivity has grown faster than the Eurozone. And according to the OECD, very respected body, our overall economy has grown faster than that of France or Germany. And there's no reason to think that that won't keep going on. Our goods imports from the EU have actually gone up faster than those from elsewhere in the world because we have done deals with countries since we came out of Brexit, and we've done deals around the world with Commonwealth countries, with Pacific countries. I think, honestly, it's of financial benefit to us, and I think the facts are there to prove that.
Our GDP decreases year on year by 4% because of Brexit. That's also proven.
Who told you that, JJ? Who told you that?
The OBR, mate.
Honestly,
the OBR.
A guy goes on to a TV show 2 years ago and says, oh, the economy's hit 4% each year. I've never seen the facts to back that up, never.
Well, the OBR, listen, I'll go by what the OBR say, and that's what they say. That's what they say, 4% each year is a decrease because of Brexit.
Why is our economy growing faster than Germany and France?
Listen, forget that for a second. Let's talk about these great deals you say we've done. Liz Truss did a deal with Australia and New Zealand to bring in their lamb to this country, which actually ruins our farmers. Our farmers are being undercut. Our farmers, who are the backbone of this country, are suffering because of deals that we have to do now with other countries because we left the EU. That's no good. When we are making our own people poorer, we're cutting off to spite our face, Mike. That is the case.
It's a question of restructuring the whole of our trade deals around the world. That was never going to happen in the first 12 or 18 months. It's going to happen over 20 years. Fishing is
20 years!
Fishing, well, of course it is.
Tell Farmer McGregor, it's right, mate, don't pay for your bills now. We'll take you off, mate, you lose your land, but in 20 years, we'll be doing much better. That's no good for them now, is it?
And look at the fishing industry as well. We already control more of our waters now than we did when we were in the European Union, OK? And in 18 months' time, providing the incoming Labour government doesn't slash it, we'll own even more of our waters and be more in a bigger position to sell our fish around the world and be a major trading partner.
People in this country cannot wait for 20 years. It's no good saying, don't worry, in 20 years' time, we're going to be prosperous.
Did you think it was going to change overnight?
Yeah, I did. I did.
I
genuinely did. Well, that's what I did. I voted to leave because I thought it was going to be better for the country. So far, it's been worse off for the country. I regret voting to leave.
Would you vote to go back now?
I would vote
if you were given a second referendum, would you vote to rejoin the EU?
Absolutely, I'd vote to rejoin the EU.
Even though you know you're going to get a worse deal because they are not going to accept us going back on a better terms.
They're going to be punitive to us.
If it means that British people are going to do slightly better than we're doing currently, I would go back and help in this country who are suffering because of Brexit.
No, I would never want to go back into an organisation that doesn't have the power to elect people to run that organisation. The people who run it are just appointed, and they're faceless people who get up in the middle of the night and try and destroy British laws.
You're right.
So I don't want that.
Who voted for Sunak? Who put Sunak in power? Was that the British people?
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't. Sunak jumped in after Truss was booted.
You can't put the European leaders into power.
Who put Truss in power?
Those guys are faceless
Did we vote for Liz Truss? We didn't vote for Liz Truss. We didn't vote for Rishi Sunak.
We get a chance to
vote. We get a chance to vote on July 4th. Granted, but we didn't vote for our last two prime ministers.
But that's part of our political process.
Well, that's part of being in the EU, Mike. Same.
for Gordon Brown, OK? And he managed to smash the country up pretty badly.
Brexit worries me. In that respect, I can't help feeling that it'd be an awful shame if what we've gone to so much trouble to do, to collect the European big nations together, to break it all up now would be a crying shame, I feel.
Despite the political Brexit omerta, Brexit is getting louder even before the general election is actually finalised on the 4th of July. And it is without doubt that as soon as Keir Starmer goes into number 10, there is going to be more and more pressure for the government to act, to do something about Brexit, because it is making Britain poorer and it's also making life harder. And there will be huge expectation for Keir Starmer to do something about it. Not only that, all of his MPs pretty much will agree with the British public that something needs to be done about Brexit. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment below, and if you haven't subscribed, subscribe.